Donald Trump has named one of his donors as the new postmaster, meaning that this individual will have some control over the post office, which is an independent government agency that is struggling right now because of coronavirus and because of the fact that less and less people are sending mail through first class. Now, who is this person and how can it impact our upcoming general election? Well, Louis DeJoy is a North Carolina businessman, and he will take over as Postmaster General on June 15th. He will replace Megan Brennan, whose intention is to retire. Brennan had been subject to months of complaints from Trump that the Postal Service was losing too much money. But there was a personal bias there, which I'll get to in just a second. But let me give you more on DeJoy. He's been a substantial donor to Donald Trump, as I mentioned earlier, and Republican causes since the 2016 election. His wife served as ambassador to Estonia under President George W. Bush and was nominated to serve as Trump's next ambassador to Canada. I mention his wife because this is how politics works, right? You give massive donations to a president, and then you get named ambassador to whichever country. And that's certainly the case with this man's wife. But keep in mind that Donald Trump has been going after the post office, viciously attacking the post office, because the post office has entered a contract with Amazon, and Trump has always been incredibly bitter about Jeff Bezos, who, even though I have no love for Jeff Bezos, he's a legit billionaire, whereas Donald Trump has been nothing but a complete and utter failure in life. And so just to give you a little taste of his commentary about the post office and its business dealings with Amazon, here's an older video where he talks about it.
Postal Service is a joke, because they're handing out packages for Amazon and other internet companies, and every time they bring a package, they lose money on it. The post office should raise the price of a package by approximately 4 times, because they don't raise them. For some reason, these people have been in there a long time, but for some reason, they're very cozy with some of these companies. If they don't raise the price of the service they give, which is a tremendous service, and they do a great job, and the postal workers are fantastic, but this thing's losing billions of dollars. It has for years, because they don't want to insult, for whatever reason you can imagine, they don't want to insult Amazon and these other groups. If they don't raise the price, I'm not signing anything. So they'll raise the price so that they become maybe even profitable, but so they lose much less money, okay? And if they don't do it, I'm not signing anything, and I'm not authorizing you to do anything, Steve.
So I want to emphasize that the post office is literally the only government agency that is treated as if it needs to be a business that turns a profit. And for Trump, this isn't about the post office making a profit. For Trump, this is his bitterness toward Jeff Bezos, and I would argue, even more importantly, his concern about what this next general election is going to look like. There are going to be a lot of Americans who are going to be uncomfortable going to the polls to vote. They're going to rely on mail-in voting, and it should concern everyone that now the postmaster is a Trump donor and loyalist.
Yeah. So the reason why the post office has financial troubles in the first place is because Congress very, very specifically passed a law requiring the post office to have enough money in the bank for pensions for decades on out. Decades on out. No one else has that burden. Only the post office does. It makes no sense at all. But the Republicans have been targeting the post office for destruction for a long time. Look, Donald Trump is a cancer, but he's just stage 4. We saw stage 1, 2, and 3 right in front of our eyes. He's the ultimate dream of what the Republican Party wants. A stupid, corrupt person that just wants to destroy everything that the government does and replace it with corrupt crony capitalism. So the Republicans have been doing this, not just Donald Trump. Anyway, so now you have a post office that is in financial trouble, not because it actually doesn't run a good business. It does. I don't know why it's running a business inside government, but it is, and it does a spectacular job. Not only is it financially healthy outside of these stupid laws that they are burdened with on purpose by the Republicans, but on top of that, it costs almost nothing to mail. Has anybody used FedEx or UPS recently? They do a good service, and they charge you a lot of money, a ton of money, okay? So the post office does it for, what is it now, $50? Wow, you could deliver mail anywhere in the country. So one of the reasons the Republicans hate it is because it shows that the government can work efficiently. And that drives them nuts. They're like, why isn't everybody incompetent like us? And the real reason, of course, is destroy them so that our donors, FedEx, UPS, whoever else is giving them money, can make even more money. Can you imagine how much money FedEx would make if instead of paying 51 cents for a stamp, you had to pay them $25 every time you wanted to mail something? Yeah, they'd make so much more money. And the Republican politicians and Donald Trump would get rewarded with campaign contributions because this country has legalized bribery.
Exactly. And just to really drive home the point about the mail-in voting, and this is going to be an issue. I mean, this is something that I think the Democratic Party needs to be way more aggressive about, because who knows what's going to happen now with this guy in charge. And AOC brought it up via Twitter, saying GOP is naming a political operative with no United States Postal Service experience as the Postmaster General right before an election where millions of people will try to vote by mail to save their own lives. They're eroding our democracy. I mean, they've been eroding our democracy and crushing our public institutions before our very eyes. And if you can recall earlier, Donald Trump had some thoughts about mail-in voting, even though he himself had done mail-in voting in Florida. Take a look.
Highly critical of mail-in voting, mail-in ballots for voting.
I think mail-in voting is horrible.
But you voted by
It's
mail
corrupt.
in Florida's election last month, didn't you?
Sure, I could vote by mail for that.
How do you reconcile
Because I'm
that?
allowed to. Well, that's called out of state. You know why I voted? Because I happen to be in the White House and I won't be able to go to Florida and vote. And you get thousands and thousands of people sitting in somebody's living room signing ballots all over the place. No, I think that mail-in voting is a terrible thing. I think if you vote, you should go. And even the concept of early voting is not the greatest because a lot of things happen. But it's okay. But you should go and you should vote. I think you should go and you should vote. You look at what they do, where they grab thousands of mail-in ballots and they dump it. I'll tell you what, and I don't have to tell you, you can look at the statistics. There's a lot of dishonesty going along with mail-in voting.
Yeah, well, he also admitted that if you do mail-in voting, no Republican will ever win again. There are no cases of thousands of fraudulent votes from mail-in votes. Totally imagined, made up, 100% lie, has never, ever happened. When pressed to see, okay, name one case where there was thousands of things or hundreds of fraudulent mail-in ballots, dozens, anything, give me anything. Nope, because there are no such cases because they're liars. But the rest of the press has to play patty cakes. Well, I can't tell. And by the way, not only I can't tell, they go along with the mythology. Every article I read today about the post office talks about how it's failing. And Democrats, a lot of times, accidentally feed into that talking point. They're like, well, the post office is in a lot of trouble. They need help, etc. No, guys, no. It's the laws that the Republicans passed that put that extra burden on them. And there's absolutely nothing wrong with mail-in voting. How do we know? Donald Trump did it. So then why did you do it? Why you're the president of the United States, fly down to Florida and vote, right? No, giant hypocrite. So this guy, he's a donor. Look, this is not corruption. It has taken over the Republican Party 100%. At the national level, you vote for a Republican, you have voted for a crook. But it's not like the Democratic Party isn't corrupt. Are you kidding me? So whenever a Democratic president comes in, all the donors get ambassador positions in a Democratic administration. Oh, you gave me $1 million. Okay, you get Estonia, you get Latvia, you gave me $10 million. You get Germany. It's a frickin' auction. This is how stupid our system is. And we all sit here like sheep and take it. And when somebody like us doesn't take it and we go, that's obvious bribery and corruption, the rest of the media yells at us. Oh my God, look, they're so excited. They seem to care about what happens in America. Real news people don't care. And real news people don't tell you the truth. They don't say when somebody gives you $1 million to a politician, it's a bribe. They don't say, hey, a real news person doesn't say, hey, this guy gave a ton of money to Donald Trump, and that's why he's now going to run the post office. God knows for what political interest or personal financial interest. Nope. I can't say it. I'm a news person. I'm not allowed to tell you the news. Yes, it's definitely corruption. Anyone who doesn't tell you that isn't doing news. They're doing political correctness.
Thanks for watching The Young Turks. Really appreciate it. Another way to show support is through YouTube memberships. You'll get to interact with us more. There's live chat emojis, badges. You've got emojis of me, Anna, John, JR. So those are super fun. But you also get playback of our exclusive member-only shows and specials right after they air. So all of that, all you gotta do is click that join button right underneath the video. Thank you.